Hi everyone, it's Grace again. Today I'm going to try to show you guys how to do the weaving in and out on the tulle, the netting. Make sure you buy netting and not tulle. Netting is thicker, it's stiffer, and it has bigger holes in it than the tulle does, but it's also stronger. So it's very flexible, but at the same time, the netting, or if you buy tulle instead, it will wind up ripping and tearing, and you won't have a very successful tail. So instead of having it a straight line, you're going to wind up cutting yours a little bit curved down the sides. And as you do that, you're going to, when you go to weave these in and out, you want to start them off about a half an or 3/4 to an inch away from each other. And then in the middle, they're going to wind up overlapping. At the end, once you tack them down with the hot glue, you're going to trim all these up so they don't really interfere with each other too much. And when you go to do the hot glue, you want to make sure that all the eyes are the exact same direction when you lay out your tail, because if they're the wrong way, you're going to wind up having some that look like they're not even there. So do you see the difference as I rotate this one? Okay, back to the weaving. So you're going to start like with this center one, and then you're going to work. I worked a couple to the left and then a couple to the right. I'm not sure if that's the way you're seeing this video, but a few to the right, a few to the left, and then just keep going all the way down and around till you've reached the edge of your netting curve. Now, I went in the front, then took it from the back, and I went in from the back, and then took it from the front, went in from the front, and vice all the way down. So about every inch or so on the netting. So as this is laying, there's no netting on the top here, then there's an inch of netting here, then there's no netting on the top here, then there's an inch of netting on. So the netting goes to the back and to the front, to the back, to the front. So that's the weaving part. Now, when you start with one, you want to make sure you have some good tips. If you don't, it's okay. You can go ahead and take Scotch tape, wrap it around the tip to make it a point. And that point will act as like a needle or a guide to be able to allow you to punch through these holes. And sometimes you might have to break a couple pieces of the netting just to kind of make the hole there. That's totally fine too, because the netting's strong enough. So now that this one started from the front, the next one I do is going to start from the back. So you're going to alternate. You can kind of hear me poking through it a little bit. Like I said, go about every other inch, go in and out every other inch, till you get them all the way in. And your tips might start to get damaged as you start to go through these. Again, see, they're starting to overlap. So if I was to push these in further, because they're too long or something for the layer, then they'll definitely overlap. We need to trim them. That's the other thing that gluing will help, is it'll help them from shifting up and out or further in, and you won't lose as many. I guarantee you somebody will wind up stepping on it or getting caught on something, and it's nice to have them glued in so you don't lose your feathers. Okay, and then since I started from the back on the second one, I'm going to start from the front again, and I'm just going to go ahead and weave myself in from the front and then through the back, in from the back, through the front, every other inch or so. And that gives me alternating weave, okay? And then what I'll do is when I have the hot glue, as this is laying down on the table, I'll go and I'll hot glue where the netting is on the top a couple of times on each quill, and that will help hold it into place. Plus, like I said, make sure when you go to hot glue and you've got them laid out on your table, that you have all of the eyes facing the same direction. So just spin your feathers until they're rotated to where all the eyes are facing the same way. That way you make sure that they stay in position. Okay, thank you so much. I hope this is a helpful video to add to the tutorial. Thanks for purchasing the tutorial, and I hope I've helped you in any way possible. Make sure you leave a comment on Facebook if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.